Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. This is Weekend at 1. My name is Ian Wafula. Now to our first story. For close to 4 weeks now, Kapedo, a small town at the borders of Turkana and Baringo counties, has been under heavy military police patrol following the death of 20 police officers and over a dozen civilians. During the operation, most parts of the town and its environs remained open only to the residents and police officers. Tonight, however, KTN's brings you an exclusive look into the operation that has been marred by allegations of violation of human rights and discord between security apparatus manning the area. Both civilians and government officials have fallen victim to the Kapedo crisis.
Mwingine akasema piga risasi, mwingine akasema choma, wakachoma. Kuchoma hii kitambaa. Mwingine akasema bwana usichome hii plot iko na stima. Mwingine akachukua maji ilikuwa kwa hii ndoo hapa nje. Na akaimwagilia hii kitambaa, hiyo moto ikasimika. Nikasema huyo mtu ni Mungu aligusa roho yake, akaweza kusima hiyo moto juu. Hii moto ingechomeka, hii kitu ingechomeka, nyumba yote ingechomeka na tungekufa ndani.
Premises yangu hii inalisha 20 people for my family, of which by now hata msera wangu haitoshi kulisha hao watoto. Na niko na watoto 4 kwa secondary, wawili wamefanya saa hii, which is takuwa 6 ambayo watajoin, wawili watajoin from 1 this year.
Now do remember to tune in at 7 for the Kizaizai cha Kapedo and at 9 p.m. for the Return to Kapedo incisive accounts of the ongoing security operation. And still on matters security, Interior Cabinet Secretary Joseph LENKU'S has cautioned members of the civil society and politicians engaging Kenyans in hate speech that they will find themselves in hot soup. Speaking in Utalii College during the 36th Food Fair Festival last night, LENKU'S also revealed that the government is not ready to retain refugees who are causing instability in the country.
We have major external players contributing to our insecurity. We also recognize the abuse of our young democratic space that many of our leaders continue in the pretext of democracy and safeguarding our citizens' right to polarize our country, and in their process, incite Kenyans against one another. I put to notice all, and specifically leaders, that they will not be allowed to continue going that way.
And as Ole LENKU'S was speaking at the Utalii, the CID Director Ndego Muhoro was in Machakos, where he dismissed claims that the Al-Shabaab are planning terror attacks on major cities in the country. Muhoro says such claims are merely a plot to instill fear in Kenyans. Speaking during a one-week symposium for CIDs on sexual harassment of children in Machakos County, he said that investigations were already underway to determine the source of the rumors. He also called on victims of the stripping incidents across the country to come forward and record statements with the police in order to help with investigations.
They instructed the cybercrime unit to investigate and see that we get to the bottom of those behind them. This again calls for us as Kenyans from all walks of lives and people in Kenya to also be part of the security, ensuring that we secure all of us, that we have individual responsibilities to make sure that yes, the thing that we do and the place that we go to, we are also very keen on the people around us and things happening around us. That is the only way that we can ensure our own safety and security.
Elsewhere, Senator Kiraitu Murungi has come to the defense of President Uhuru Kenyatta and his administration following the public outrage over the handling of security matters. Speaking at Kionyo Primary School in Imenti South, Kiraitu called on all Kenyans to join hands in combating insecurity in the country by involving security agencies.
and indeed very opportunistic. I would call it Machiavellian for any person to say Uhuru must go kwa sababu ameshindwa na insecurity. Even Jomo Kenyatta not have it easy. Let the people not exaggerate it. Yonekana kama nchi yote na inaungua kama nchi inakwisha.
And to some rather sad news, residents of Kamara area in Molo sub-county were last evening caught in a near stampede as they rushed to collect spilt diesel after a petrol tanker rolled. According to the driver of the Kampala-bound tanker, the tanker rolled as he tried to swerve to avoid oncoming vehicles on the Eldoret-Nakuru highway. Kamche Menza now reports.
At around 1 p.m., this tanker loaded with 31,000 liters of diesel rolled. Its rear part got detached, letting out its contents, diesel. And as usual, residents of Kamara saw an opportunity here, rushing to collect diesel. Oblivious of the danger associated with such incidents.
Nimekuja hivi ilikuwa gari ndogo, alikuwa anataka kunigonga, nimeepa ndio nimekosa control naanguka.
The driver and his conductor could not control the residents until police officers arrived and tried to keep the residents at bay, though they still had a difficult time. As if cautious of the danger they were exposing themselves to, the residents refused to be filmed. The spilled diesel from the rear tank flowed down to this end, where the residents avidly collected.
And that's why we have managed to have a large number of people here. But as you can see, they are still here waiting, expecting that they can still get the fuel to go and sell. But we have kept them away. So far, we have not had any incident here, and the owners are still waiting for the vehicle that is coming to recover them. We shall be here until such a time that the fuel can be transferred to the other vehicle.
3 months ago, 6 people lost their lives in a fire as they tried to collect petrol in a similar incident. Kamche Menza, KTN from Nakuru County.
Quite some danger they are exposing themselves to right there. And leaders from the Samburu community and church leaders have asked Samburu people to abandon the practice of female genital circumcision, terming it as outdated. They were speaking during the graduation of over 300 girls on alternative ways of passage. Samburu elders said that the girls won't have to go through the cut. The anti-female genital mutilation chairlady, Lina Chabi, told the community that female genital mutilation was the worst form of gender-based violence and needed to be stopped immediately.
Female genital mutilation is the worst form of gender-based violence. It's a violence against girls and women done on the most sensitive parts of their bodies, yet it is accepted, it's taken as normal in the name of a culture. They are told it gives them identity, yet that identity is hidden.
Wameweza kuepuka tohara, lakini wameshiriki katika shughuli ambayo tunaita ni tohara mbadala, ambayo wasichana wanaweza kufanya shughuli zote za kitamaduni kushirikiana na wazazi wao, lakini mwisho wa siku ni kwamba hawataweza kukeketwa.
And to a story that has made headlines since last week, 2 sisters who were killed in the Saturday massacre in Mandera were buried yesterday at their family home in Kieni, Nyeri County. The sisters, who perished alongside 26 other Kenyans, were laid to rest as the Mandera County Governor, Ali Roba, revealed there will be a fund to assist the victims' families offset the burial expenses. KTN's Karen Derry has the story.
Not even the heavy downpour could deter friends and family who gathered to pay their last respects and bid a final farewell to 30-year-old Frida Kathambi Matu and her younger sister, 28-year-old Winfred Karemi Mudhinja, sisters who were among the 28 Kenyans murdered in Mandera in cold blood by the Al-Shabaab militia. The leaders who joined the mourners did not mince their words when they tore into the attackers for their heinous deeds against innocent Kenyans.
Ambao wanaua watu wetu wachapwe masasi wamalizwe kabisa, na hao watu wanasema ati human rights, wacha waseme. Wacha waendelee na kusema. When their sisters or their brothers are killed, we'll see how far they'll talk about human rights.
Ole Lenku wacha apatiwe kazi ya tourism, aondokee kazi ya usalama.
We know how painful it is for this area to lose two people from the same family, from senseless killing of some people we don't know.
Ni heri uwe bila kazi kuliko kupelekwa mahali ambapo unauawa, unaowafanyia kazi hawana heshima nawe.
Mimi naomba rais kama rafiki yake, kama anaweza wasikiza sasa wa Kenya, manake sisi tunalia, na sana sana hata sisi ambao tunamuunga mkono sana, afanye what we call a reshuffle to his cabinet.
Frida Kathambi, who was a wife to Geoffrey Matu and mother to Mildred Werimo, was traveling back from Mandera to prepare for her graduation at the Mount Kenya University. She was an English literature and religious education teacher at Al Bayan Secondary School in Mandera. Her sister, Winfred Karemi, had recently joined her and was a teacher at Dawa Integrated School in Mandera County. Mandera County Governor Ali Roba has offered financial assistance to assist the bereaved families of the 28 Mandera victims to cater for their burial expenses.
We're here today to present the county government of Mandera's contribution of Kenya shillings 3 million for burial expenses through the Council of Governors Secretariat. Because the victims came from various counties and it's not easy for us to be able to be everywhere.
Anger and disbelief is what many Kenyans can identify with over the spiraling insecurity in the country, with them asking the leaders to end the empty rhetoric and do something tangible to secure each and every Kenyan in every part of the country. Carol Derry, KTN, Nyeri County.
From that somber mood, we go to inmates. Christmas has come early for them this year for inmates of Nyahururu GK prison. They got a rare surprise treat from Nyahururu Law Court staff members. The inmates in prisons were paid a visit by judges, magistrates and lawyers who joined them in a day-long celebration with dances and songs. As the festive season beacons, the inmates also received gifts from visitors during the ceremony aimed at allowing the inmates to feel loved despite being locked behind bars. Nyahururu Principal Magistrate Dennis Mikoyan said a lot had been achieved at the rehabilitation facility due to concerted efforts by stakeholders in the criminal justice system.
So wakati mnakuja kotini, tunasemanga mwenye masikio asikie. So leo najua mna complaints, lakini wacha niwaambie kitu kimoja. Complaints mtasema, tutasikiza na tuache hapa. Lakini kuelezwa vile kufanya kesi yako itakusaidia zaidi kuliko ile complaint ambayo unatoa.
Ilianzishwa mwaka wa 1956 na kulingana na public health officers, the capacity ya jela ni watu around 300 because the physical infrastructure ni kidogo sana.
The newly appointed ODM Secretary General Ababu Namwamba and Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho have told off those threatening to the party leadership over their appointment. Joho, who was appointed deputy party leader pending approval by the National Governing Council next week, he was speaking in Uasin Gishu County last evening. The two asked their critics to accept the new appointees and help build the party.
Ile tumefaulu kufanya ni kwamba tumeweza kuafikiana ya kwamba pande zote mbili zilizokuwa zinawania nyadhifa mbalimbali sasa zimekubaliana na sasa tuko tayari kujenga chama. Tunataka kujenga chama kilicho na nguvu na tunataka sasa kuanza kutafuta wafuasi katika sehemu zote, hata huku Uasin Gishu. Tunataka kutembea Kenya nzima tukitafuta wafuasi, tuimarishe chama.
In democracy there has to be winners and losers, and for those that are complaining, let them wait for their time. But otherwise, this team is here to stay.
And that story brings us to the end of Weekend at 1. Now, do remember our biggest story for the day. That is the Kizaizai cha Kapedo and return to Kapedo. Incisive stories on the ongoing operation in Kapedo. We'd like to hear what is going on around you. Our Twitter handle is @KTN Kenya. My name is Ian Wafula. Do have yourself a lovely afternoon.